Good day, class. Welcome to another edition of Class University Secondary School online chemistry class. I am Solomon, your online chemistry teacher. Now, our last lecture, we introduced hydrogen chloride. Now, we ended the class by discussing the chemical property of hydrogen chloride as a gas. And here are the solutions. Here is the assignment of the last lecture, and here are the solutions to the assignments. Now, in our lecture today, we're going to be discussing the chemical property of hydrogen chloride when dissolved in water to form the hydrochloric acid. That means we're just going to be discussing the chemical property of hydrochloric acid. Now, the first one we're going to be talking about is reaction with metal. Metals that are more electropositive than hydrogen will liberate hydrogen gas when they react with hydrochloric acid. Now, we said almost the same thing here when we discussed about the chemical property of hydrogen chloride as a gas. Now, this zinc reacting with hydrochloric acid forming the zinc chloride and liberating hydrogen gas. Now, this is the ionic form of the equation, of this equation. Yeah, this is the ionic form. Now, please take note that because of this property of hydrochloric acid, you can use hydrochloric acid to separate a mixture of metal. That means, for example, when we have a mixture of metal containing zinc and copper, we know that zinc is higher than hydrogen in the electrochemical series. That means it is more electropositive than hydrogen, while copper is less electropositive than hydrogen. Now, when the mixture of the metal is added, when hydrochloric acid is added to the mixture of the metal, the zinc present in the metal, the zinc present in the mixture will react with the hydrochloric acid to form the zinc chloride, as you have here, while the copper will remain unreactive in the solution. That means it will not react with the hydrochloric acid. Now, from this, we know we can now use the process of separating the copper, the unreacting copper, from the solution. And so the next chemical property of hydrochloric acid is reaction with base. Now, hydrochloric acid reacts with base or alkali to produce salt and water only. And we know that this reaction is a neutralization reaction. Now, this is a base, zinc oxide reacting with hydrochloric acid, forming the zinc chloride plus water molecule. Now, this is an alkali, which is also a soluble base, sodium hydroxide, reacting with hydrochloric acid, forming the sodium chloride and some water molecules. Now, this is the ionic equation for this second reaction. Now, to the next chemical property of hydrochloric acid. Reaction with triazocarbonate 4. Hydrochloric acid reacts with triazocarbonate 4 and hydrogen triazocarbonate 4 to liberate carbon 4 oxide gas. Now, this is hydrochloric acid reacting with sodium triazocarbonate 4, giving you sodium chloride, forming some water molecule and also liberating carbon 4 oxide gas, which is also the same as carbon dioxide gas. Now, this is the ionic equation of the reaction. Now, this is also another equation showing the reaction between hydrochloric acid and sodium hydrogen triazocarbonate 4, also forming sodium chloride, some water molecule, and also liberating carbon 4 oxide gas. Now, here is also the ionic equation for this second reaction. Now, to the next chemical property of hydrochloric acid, which is reaction with strong oxidizing agents. Now, concentrated hydrochloric acid is easily oxidized by strong oxidizing agent like potassium tetraoxomanganate 7, which is KMnO4, to liberate chlorine gas. Now, please take note that this also follow the same principle in the laboratory preparation of chlorine. Now, because of this property of hydrochloric acid is never used to acidify solution of oxidizing agent. Now, instead of using hydrochloric acid, we make use of tetraosulfate 6 acid, which is H2SO4. Now, to the next chemical property of hydrochloric acid, which is hydrochloric acid as a precipitating agent. Now, when hydrochloric acid is added to silver triazonitrate 5 or lead 2 triazonitrate 5 solution, a white precipitate of silver or lead 2 chloride is formed. It depends on the one you are using, whether you are using silver or you are using lead. And this is an equation showing that of silver triazonitrate. Now this silver triazonitrate reacting with hydrochloric acid, forming the silver chloride and the triazonitrate acid. Now the reason why the silver chloride is being precipitated because silver chloride is an insoluble, is not soluble in water. That means silver chloride is an insoluble chloride. Please let's take note of that. Now we've come to the end of the chemical property of hydrochloric acid. Now let's discuss how hydrochloric acid or hydrogen gas can be tested for. Hydrogen chloride gas, sorry, can be tested for in the laboratory. Now you can test for hydrogen chloride gas in the laboratory using ammonia, or we use silver triazonitrate solution. Now when we are talking about the test for hydrogen chloride with ammonia, it follows the same principle as hydrogen chloride gas reacting with ammonia. Now you can see from this slide that when we place a glass rod that is dipped with ammonium solution at the mouth of a glass jar containing the unknown gas, if the gas is hydrogen chloride, a white dense film of ammonium chloride is formed. Now you can see that it also follows the same principle of that of the reaction of hydrogen chloride gas reacting with ammonia gas. Now also with silver triazonitrate, this reaction is also the same thing as that of hydrochloric acid as a precipitating agent. Now you can see here, add a few drops of silver triazonitrate solution to a glass jar containing the unknown gas and shake. Please let's take note of that. We have to shake. If the gas is hydrogen chloride, a white precipitate of silver chloride will be formed because silver chloride is insoluble, it's being precipitated from the solution. Please let's take note of that. Now to the uses of hydrogen chloride and hydrochloric acid. Hydrogen chloride is used in the synthesis of chloroethene, which is an important component of plastic. Now, chloroethene is polymerized to form the polychloroethene. That's the important component of plastic. Hydrochloric acid is used for the manufacturing of textiles and dye. And also, hydrochloric acid is used to remove oxide from metal prior to electroplating. Now, what is electroplating? Electroplating is just preventing using a metal to prevent another metal from rusting. That means adding a metal to another metal to prevent rusting. Now the process of we using hydrochloric acid to remove oxide, which are like form of impurities from the metal, is called pickling. Let's take note of that. Now hydrochloric acid can also be used to synthesize other chemicals like the chlorine gas in the laboratory, and also it is also used as precipitating agent as we've discussed before in the chemical property of hydrochloric acid. Now we've come to the end of hydrogen chloride, and here is the assignment for today's lecture. And please, I want you guys to submit the assignment to the given email given to you guys to submit your assignment. Hope to meet you again in the next edition of Scholars University Secondary School online chemistry class. Thank you.